Alright, there's a video for 3VT about the prior knowledge of chapter 5. This is all about simplifying, so working out brackets and also dealing with some square roots. Because in chapter 5, that's the new chapter that we're going to start with, you also have to work out brackets, as you can see, and here we'll also, and this is something new that I need to tell you, but at some point we'll also work with square roots a lot, and then you have to solve equations. That's what chapter 5 is going to be about. It's about special things here and here. You already see some square roots going on, see that? So that's going to be nice, right? But first we'll start with the basics today. Here we have 5, A, B, E, and F I want to explain, and also 6, and then a couple of those. With 5 you need to add square roots. That's very similar to algebra. So if the square roots are the same, you can add them. So 5 times the square root of 2 plus 8 times the square root of 2 will be 13 times the square root of 2. And with minus, the same way, 5 minus 1 will be 4 times the square root of 2. So this is not 5. 5 is not the correct answer here. It's not like you just remove the square root. No, you have 5 square roots and you subtract 1, so that means you have 4 of them left. Then here, it looks like you can't add them, right, because they are different square roots, but sometimes you can make the square roots themselves smaller. This is actually 6, and this is actually 3. So the answer here is 3. Then we're going to go to F. Here the square roots are also different, and you cannot make them smaller. So this will be no answer, right? Or you can just write down the same thing. The question says simplify. Simplify means make as small as possible, but it was already as small as possible, right? So you can also just write down the original question. Then we're going to go to 6 here. First this one. This is times, so what you have to do with times is just multiply the normal numbers with each other. So 5 times 3 is 15, and then also the square root of 2 times the square root of 5 will be the square root of 10. You can just multiply these numbers and put them in the square root. And then sometimes you can simplify the square root further, and sometimes you cannot. Here we have 3 times 2 is 6, and 6 times 5 is 30. So 6 times the square root of 30 is the answer there. Here you have 5 times 3, so that will be 15. And here we have 2 times 2, so that's the square root of 4. Right? And the square root of 4 is just 2, so this is 15 times 2, which is 30. So here you see an example of where you can actually work out the square root. For the next one we have 5 times 7, that's 35. And 3 times 12 is 36. So also here, the square root of 36 is just 6. So 35 times 6 is 210. And that's the answer here. And then I have one more. Here we have minus 3 times the square root of 6 times minus 2 times the square root of 6. Now 3 times 2 is 6, and there's a minus in front of it. And if you see the same number in the square roots, then the answer will just be 6. Because 6 times 6 is 36, and the square root of 36 is just 6. And if you multiply this, you get minus 36. Alright, so these were some of the answers from the prior knowledge. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.